And we're back, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. Today, let's review Pacific Drive. Pacific Drive takes a lot of elements from other survival games to forge its own very unique take on that specific genre. It focuses on car driving and taking trips into a post-apocalyptic zone. Now, at times, there are some voices on the radio that guide you through the story, more or less. There isn't a whole lot of story here, but it is all quite the mystery of what's going on there in the zone. Although the graphics of the zone aren't amazing, the game does a very good job to be very atmospheric during the trips to progressively harder to navigate maps. You will see a lot of different weather effects, mist, rain, darkness, wind, acid rain, lightning. It's a lot, and there are a lot of changes when you're driving through an environment. Colors are changing. All of a sudden things are very calm, then all hell breaks loose. It's very, very much alive in a way. Also, there are a lot of imaginative anomalies along the way and strange contraptions and sort of robotish things that roam around the map that will mess up your car and make you lose control over it, getting a whole lot of damage because of that. Or that your systems go haywire, or just madness all over the place. Now, most of the time is spent scrapping various parts of abandoned cars and computers and other things, as well as looting backpacks and closets for these parts. Also, you can create tools to help you with that, like a hammer or a crowbar to get access to closed-off buildings and locked containers in cars and that sort of stuff. Now, you can scavenge for a while, but then the game sort of introduces you to that extraction part that's also in here, where you need to get the hell out of the map because the zone is getting closer and closer to collapsing and killing you. Now, there are two ways to escape the map. There's one way to find an exit road, or picking up these energy orbs that can be used to spawn a kind of portal that brings you right back to the garage. The garage is your safe haven. Now, there's quite a bit of stress to drive and exit the map. Meanwhile, the zone gets closer and closer to collapsing, so there's a lot of stress there. And I do like that uncomfortable feeling that, are you going to make it? Are you going to make it? And then you make it, and that's a satisfaction. There's a relief there. Now, if you don't make it and you die in the zone, you can try again. There's no problem. And you can find your loot back where you died, so the spot where you died. So there's also that loot retrieval mechanic from Dark Souls. Again, there's a great sense of accomplishment when you get out of there alive, but the car usually is a total wreck. So when you get back into your garage, you need to fix it, and the car will behave strangely. It will have some really strange quirks and stuff that you need to repair, and you do that by using the scrap that you found to build upgrades to the safe house or create various parts of the car, new parts, better parts. There's again this satisfaction of being able to craft these better items, better tires, better plates, better doors, and that sort of stuff for your car, and that sort of feels very unique and rewarding. So there's a good sense of progression there. Also, in the garage, there are all kinds of machines you can use to, as I said, to tinker with the car, to upgrade it, to fix it, and it's up to you to really sort of unlock them first and then use them and try and figure out what they're for. And there's quite a bit of humor there, quite a bit of trial and error to see what stuff does. Again, there's a lot of attention to detail there, and again, humor sprinkled all over. So all the tinkering and salvaging and repairing and upgrading is fun, and you do want to do that just to get back into the zone. I'm not the greatest fan of survival games, I'll tell you, because I just don't like that I need to get like 30 pieces of scrap metal, 10 pieces of rubber, 20 pieces of electronics to get a certain upgrade. And the continuous threadmill of busy work kind of comes with the territory. It's sort of part of these games. And after a bit of exploring in the zone, you will see the same looking buildings, and you'll find the same containers and backpacks and cars and whatnot. Also, the randomized nature of the maps, it makes it so that it's quite possible to get in a very bad situation where there's no way out unless you abandon the trip. There is, though, no restriction to explore all the maps, but it's going to be quite hard if you don't spend a bit of time grinding and upgrading everything. Fortunately, the game does have some settings that make it less stressful. For instance, you can make it so that if you die or abandon a run, you can hold on to the items that you found to that point. I guess it boils down to whether you can stand the busy work. I mean, looking at the Steam charts of player count of this game, you kind of see that after like February, the player count sort of plummets. And by the looks of it, most players kind of quit playing around mid-game. If you can look past that part where you need to grind for parts, I think what will make up for that is the sheer feeling of accomplishment, of surviving the map, of bringing back the car in one piece, more or less, and tinkering and upgrading it in your garage. That stuff is very satisfying, but I can also see people just kind of get bored after a while with this game. Still, I do think it's a very unique take on the survival genre, and I do think you should check it out just to experience this. Yeah, it's a pretty good one if you like the genre. Thanks guys for watching so far, and see you in the next one.